Okay, welcome to today's episode. I'd hope this is my third time trying to do this. What I'm going to try and do is show you the way I preserve iron relics. I have just learnt this technique. Many fails. This is one of them. This was a Japanese bayonet. It had the scabbard on it. Very, very disappointed that I didn't know how to do it. This was another object I did fail. It's what's left of a M1 butt plate. Very disappointed. So what I'm going to do is, while you're on camera, I'm going to show you the way I preserve iron relics. What the camera's on right now is the hot wax. It's not melted yet. We'll get to that in whenever it gets to it. I'm going to show you the start, or from when I preserve them. From the clean stage, the way I do it, you can do electrolysis. I do that on some things, but not a lot of things, because I like to, things like this, scissors, they're too delicate to chuck in this electrolysis and they're going to fall apart. These pair of scissors were meant to be like that, they're falling apart. So another pair in here. Another one, I'll show you another way. I have oil on this. I'm going to get rid of that oil and I'm going to just stuff that in some boiling water soon, and I'll show you that process too. So let's carry on and I'll show you how I'll do it. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is, very warm day, is I'm going to grab the wire brush, any flaking, these are such delicate items, any flaking, rust whatsoever, this will take it off. Be very careful around the handles. I want as much of those handles I can get. I might just feel around and do them myself. Just in the grooves. You have to. But just why I'm doing it is just like that. And these are medical surgical scissors. So anywhere that you feel that it's coming off, just do it. And you repeat the subject how many times you've got. Excuse me, I'm going to grab another set. These are another medical scissors. Pull them apart. I should have cleaned these and preserved them a long time ago. Silly me. Again, same process. Any that you can feel around the handles whatsoever. I don't want to use machine on this because these are very, very delicate. And it's amazing. These are meant to be stainless steel, but obviously we're just stainless steel plated, and that's to keep germs and everything off that. I'm pretty happy with that. Got another one. Same procedure. Knocking any loose stuff off I can feel. Any in the handles. And this won't be the final product. What I'm going to do, I still have to clean them. This is just getting loose stuff off because I don't want it in the paraffin wax. Let's go for a small pair of scissors. Now these are more delicate. So be very, very careful with these. I should have done these properly a long time ago, but I wasn't quite sure how to do the process, and I thought sticking them in a shed in a secured area was going to help me. Obviously didn't, it went against my favour. Don't buy paints in such a way. I have painted some objects and they just pulled and destroyed my objects, and I wasn't real happy with that. Once again, being very, very gentle with these. I don't know if you guys can see that. I hope you guys can. The wire brush is just there to flake off any and around the little handles whatsoever. I'm going to do them by hand. something done. They're medical scissors. Again, we've got another pair of medical scissors. These aren't angle ones. These are probably like song scissors, but used for, because they were in a medical dump, so probably used, and as you can see, the amount of rust that's coming off these ones. You can do this too, if you're very, very careful and you think you can do it. My words, do it, because it separates, takes as much as you can. Again, around the handles. These are a bit more bigger handles, so I can actually get in there with the wire brushes and really get some force into them. But again, they're still gentle and they're still fragile. Still a fragile item. I've noticed I'm also doing this on the lawn. It doesn't matter because out here there's metal everywhere on this property. It's an old dairy farm. This is only flat, so you'll only go up in the mower and really break down into microfibers pretty much once it hits the mower deck, because this is very, very deteriorating rust. Now, if you're going to do this you can do this on a wire wheel if you have a more stronger object. The blade, I could do that on a wire wheel. In fact, I might. Just to show you, but I'm not convinced yet if I will or will not. And just between all that, and as you can see, these will be absolutely fine, and the boiling process also will. You'll come along and then you'll come with your scrum brush and you'll find there's more loose stuff on it. When it's finished going through it, you peel it off actually. I've noticed that with some things. And the procedure goes on and on and on. With this is actually a Japanese blade. It had a sheath on it. Because I didn't do it properly, the sheath just deteriorated that bad, I just pulled it off. It wasn't worth keeping. I have got bayonets there. I want to protect further, and I want to get back into them because they have the sheaths on them and they are protected, or they are a complete bayonet. So as you can see, I'm just flaking any rust off. I want to get this done, so I'll carry on. As I said, this is another way to clean RELIC. This is just boiled water, and I'll pause it there, and once it boils more, I'll show you what it does. This will get the oil off or any stuff out of it, and it's good for getting rid of mud out of RELICs too. So I'll pause this, and when it gets to a more boiling stage, I'll put you back on. Okay, as you can see, it's now boiling. I'll let this boil for about, oh sorry about that, about half an hour. See if we can get around the steam for you. And as you can see, there's floating stuff in there. That's grass, dirt. There's an oily top. That's the oil coming off it. So I'll let this go for half an hour. Once that's done, I'll take it to stage 3. This is just one of, well, stage 2 really. So this is its way of cleaning this RELIC. If you guys don't know what this is, this in here is an M1 rifle tool cleaning kit. It folds out like a knife, and then you can have the brush on one side, and then you can have a rod on the other side and clean it. So that's an M1 tool cleaning or clean rod. So it is clean rod slash brush. It's a unit. It's an M1 cleaning brush slash rod. It goes in the butt plate with that M1 rifle. Butt plate we got out there, that one that's a bit destroyed. And when I first found that, it had the rubber. It was more intact, and I'm a bit disappointed with that. So instead of me chatting on and on and on, this is my process of cleaning this. There's a lot of dirt and stuff coming out of the brushes. There's an oily top, as what oil does, boiling water does. It boils the oil off. So when we get into part 2, which is scrubbing them down with hot soapy water, which is not going to be possible today, just turn the cold water and it's hot, so I don't need to use the hot system. There's a bonus in Queensland here. And by the way, as far as I know, if you guys know of any other videos of this being done in Australia, as far as I know of my research, I haven't found any videos of this whatsoever, or wax preservation with paraffin wax done in Australia, not alone Queensland. So as far as I know, this will be the first video in Australia for our Australia metal detectors. So we'll let this carry on, clean itself, and then we'll go on to stage 2. Till then. Okay, welcome back. This is stage 2. The video didn't work for some reason of me showing you how to do it, but it's a pretty simple stage. Part 1, it involves in some dishwashing liquid, a scrubbing brush, a sink with a plug, fill it up with hot soapy water, and what your aim is to do is scrub any dirt or loose material off it. And then part 2 of stage 2, you want to empty all this soapy water out. Same with this, clean all that off, then fill the water, the sink again up with hot water only. And then you repeat that and put these relics into the hot water. You scrub the hot, soap off it, so it's getting rid of all soap residue. And then you want to put them over on your rack, wherever you want to dry them, and then let them dry. You must let them dry before you put them in the hot wax. If you don't, you can have overboil. You can overboil your pot that you're doing it in. It causes frothing. Of course, there will be still water inside the metal itself. I mean, inside, where you can't even see it. And that's what the paraffin wax does. It takes all that water that's inside that metal, and you will see the water come out and froth out, and then it puts it back with wax inside it. Now the reason for, you probably say, oh, why do you need to do that? Why don't you just put it in? Because it's going to take all the water out. By letting the objects dry, what you're doing is you're getting all the excess water from the outside off. And all the stuff you can't see, which is inside, it lessens the risk of all the water, or frothing as I call it, as you'll see soon, boil over and cause a fire, and that's the main reason. Also, if you guys have links of the paraffin wax treatment getting done in Australia, because I've done some research, and as far as I know, this is the only video that's getting done. I learnt tricks here that American videos were doing different, and they were working in different climate, different area. So like taking the objects out of the paraffin wax, letting them cool for half an hour, and then dabbing the excess wax off. Well, I got to take one relic at a time and immediately wipe the excess wax off. But further into that when we get onto that stage. So I'll let these dry, and they'll go. They're starting to dry now, but as you can see, they're still completely wet. So I'm going to let them dry. Might turn some over, and just let them dry for about an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it takes. And let them completely dry. I can let them dry overnight, and then put the paraffin, put them in the paraffin wax. So until we're up to stage 3, which is putting the paraffin wax on and sealing them, I'll catch you till then. Okay, it's in the afternoon now. This is the paraffin wax station. This is the one that you melt the wax up and get ready to put the iron relics in. So there's a couple of key things that you'll need for this stage. One is a heating source, maybe gas or electric like this one. This I'm trying not to use this every day because it is a lot of energy, and I'm going to do it today, but I'm going to leave it for about 2 weeks after that. This cost me about $25. This was at Kmart here in Australia. Just watch it with the gas ones. It can happen to these ones too. Overflow can go on the... It won't happen as bad on this one, but with the gas, if it overflows with the... When you got the object in there, I was talking about the frothing, which hopefully some of these relics will do, so I can give you a demonstration of what I mean. It will, once it hits the flame, it can cause a big fire. So, I'm not saying it can't happen here. Being a firefighter myself, a real firefighter, it can happen on electric ovens, electric stovetops too. Now, you will need a thermometer at this stage. Because I used a digital one and it wasn't real good, a manual one's good, is really good. It's a barbecue one, but I have worked out setting 5.5 on each hot plate on this model is the right temperature. So I don't need a thermometer. You need an outdoor workstation, not inside. The fumes from the paraffin wax, the risk of a fire. In that case, what you also need is a fire extinguisher. Now, aren't you going to watch me? That's ready to go. I always have my fire extinguishers ready to go. Now, up to this stage, this will be stage 4, when that comes out of the paraffin wax. So I've got a brush, just to brush off any excess stuff. I've got some tissue paper or paper towel. That's to dab all the excess wax off. I'll show you that later, what I mean there. This is to help me lower stuff in. This is to help me grab stuff. And it's kind of stuff, this is what I mean. This is what you don't want on your relics. I'll get a wire brush to that, and before I do it, that's basically just a cardboard box. I'll brush this off right now. And what that's going to do is just clean the surface for me. So that's stage 4, when the relics are done from the paraffin wax. At the moment, we're focusing on the paraffin wax. So what you need for equipment: thermometer that reads up to 300, melting point 130, safe point, what I've been reading up on, is 200, 250. But just watch it. On these Kmart $25 stoves, setting 5.5 is real good. This is paraffin wax unmelted. It's got some heat going to it. That's approximately 11.5 kilos of paraffin wax. Pure, clean paraffin wax. For you guys in Australia, I'll put a link down below in the description of an eBay place you can get them from. 2 kilos is little, but it depends on the size of your pot. Because I'm doing a lot of big stuff, I need about 11.5 kilos. Pot, an old pot, this cost me $5. Just put it, I wanted to add out there, got for $5, old crappy pot. It's a 32 litre pot. And the beauty of it, it comes with a lid, so when it's stored, cools down, I leave it in the pot, and the pot there is my station for it. I can feel it's starting to warm up now. For small objects, or objects you don't want aren't big, and you're going to bundle them up, a small pot that you can dip in and dip out. Something with a wire handle, because the wire handle won't get hot because it's above the wax, and the objects can then just get picked up and picked down, which is a great idea. So I won't keep filming this. I'll let it do its job, melt down, and once it's melted, I'll show you it melted, and then we'll get on to the other stage, which is putting the objects in letting them do the job. It could take about an hour, hour and a half, depending on the objects, and I'll show you what happens between that procedure. Till then, catches. Okay, so it's pretty much melted now. There's only a little bit of wax there. So that's what 11.5 kilos of wax looks like melted down. Now we go over here. This is what I mean by the basket. You can do other material apart from iron. So I've got some of the original bandages in here. What's left of the plasma bandages and one of the original bandages, it's burnt, so I'm not worried about it being so stiff. When it comes out, it's going to be preserved then. I know that, and when I put it on display, I know all the burning's not going to affect it. The display board's sort of made, so there won't be any traces. So this is what I mean by the basket. So that's pretty level. So that was a guess. So I'll bring it over, and we dunk it in. Okay, it looks like the bayonet's going to have to, and that's what I mean by. So I might put the bayonet by itself, which is not a problem. This is what these tools are for. Sorry, very difficult. Okay. Now this will all get done. But this is what I mean by frothing. These little bubbles here, they will form bigger, and they can be the size of this. They can sometimes go up to here. So that's what you've got to watch. So I'll bring you back here soon, and hopefully there'll be some action happening, and I'll show you this working. Until then, catch. Okay, welcome back. Now, there's not much activity, there's not much water actually in these ones, which is surprising. So, we're going to take a relic out. What shall we go for? Without burning my hand while I'm doing this single hand. Okay, what we do is let it drip a little bit, just so we can obtain as much. And then we take it along the grass straight up to our station. Okay, now here in Australia I've got to take one relic at a time out, so I have to immediately dab this down. In America I've seen them being able to take a lot out, wait half an hour and do it. I've worked out that hasn't been working for me in here in my climate and where I live. So what this is doing is grabbing any excess wax, liquid wax that could be there that will just form like this. Now this will be hot, so I'm going to do it very quickly, and as you can see all that excess stuff is sitting on top of that. There we go. And then you just repeat the product on every single object you do. So I'll go and get this done. Get these all sorted out, and I'll show you the final product. It's pretty simple. Just remember these are red hot. And they're going to be red hot, but now that'll be sealed for another 50 years. The most difficult one, which I thought was going to be very difficult anyway, was the bandage, because it was so burnt you don't want to destroy. This one I believe has come out of a first aid tin, a shell dressing tin, because what happens is it takes a lot of wax in between the material. But the idea of this now, it's one rock solid block, and I'm able to basically now put it on display like as is, which is great because now it's not going to fall apart on me. Got a couple of medical items there, another one there. So I'll just move this to the hot. Okay, so when I've done all this, I'll let you know because it's coming late. So I want to get this all done before I lose complete sunlight out here. And I'll catch you when I'm done this. Okay, we're done now. This is the last one. Now remember, that's a quick tip too. When you're dapping these down, I'm using old Army Ration Pack toilet paper. Try and not get the paper towel stuck to the wax, because you're going to have a hell of a time getting the paper out. So just dab it along like that and carry on. I've shut down my station tonight, let all these objects cool. That's beautiful. I can go inside now. I don't want that outside. I can go over to the station, so I'll take you over to the station where I put all these relics. This is my cool down station here. It's not too good of a light. Let's see if I can bring up another light. I don't think you can see. But I've done Japanese wire cutters, 2 Japanese bayonets, a bridge block of a 303 experimental Australian rod sun badge. I've done American hardtack biscuits. Like I said, you could do webbing, but if you don't, if it's in good condition, don't do it. If it's burnt like this, and I want it to last and do, that was experiment. I wouldn't say do it. That's full of live ammunition. I was watching that very carefully and I had to pot off half the time. Another tip too, with objects that are hollow, like a can, an oil bottle, something like that, if you feel when you are cleaning them that they have a liquid in them still, then I advise you to drill a hole just like I did there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Just drill a hole like that and you'll be right. That allows any liquid out, like water, and that allows the wax to go in too. That's a Japanese oil bottle. So basically it's good for preserving wood, it's good for preserving webbing. Just remember, it is now super hard, that means it will break. It's good for preserving. Now this was an experiment. Now I know if I get some more or find some more bandages, I can preserve them. So have fun, be careful when you're doing the wax because it is flammable, it is hot when you put it in, extremely hot. You can get a severe burn, so don't do it around kids, do it away from kids. Is my best advice. So if you've got little ones, don't do it. Wait till they go to school or daycare or go to a friend's place, then do it. When they become teenagers, yeah, go ahead, but it's up to you. In the end, it's up to you how you do your wax preservation. I hope this was helpful to all those in Australia, especially any other countries. Mainly was hoping to do this, and for the Australian people, Australian detectorists, I will put a link up for you guys to look for the paraffin wax on eBay. If you guys can't see the link, just type in paraffin wax blocks and then it should get up something. Alright, till the next video, I'll catch you.